bear market actually is a good timing for us to accumulate a very, very quality community. Like the true believers are here. Like a bear market, yeah, you have all the tractions and it's much easier to boost the liquidity and stuff, but like quick money come and go. But right now, like people who are supporting us, the true believers here, so which I really, really appreciate.
Hello. Thank you guys so much for clicking this podcast today. I really appreciate it. This one's really exciting for me. I feel like I'm going to learn a lot. Today I'm with Cloris Chen. She's the founder and CEO of Cogito, and they have a really interesting take on stablecoins that are coming to many different blockchains. So how are you doing today, Cloris?
Hi, Peyton. How are you? Yeah, I'm doing great. Thank you.
So, what led you to create Cogito? What were you doing before this that, kind of led you to be like, okay, I'm going to create, a stablecoin ecosystem?
Oh, that's a brilliant question to start with. Well, I'm not taking the credit away. So maybe I should share with you and the audience a little bit that Cogito is actually a spin-off from SingularityNet. So the AI company that is founded and managed by Ben Grusel. So the stablecoin idea was actually invented by him. And I joined from a banking industry to SingularityNet to lead this project and to implement this stablecoin project. So yeah, kudos to Ben Gersel.
Yeah, we love Ben on this channel. We've had him on a couple times. So, Cogito it's a stablecoin ecosystem, and as I was reading more, people can come in and create their own tracer coins. So, what is Cogito and what are tracer coins?
Yeah, sure. I can share more about what we do and what are tracer coins. So first of all, this should date back to like how Ben Corso and we actually like materialize the concept of stablecoin. So in crypto, right? Like the very first invention of Bitcoin was intended to be a payment coin, right? Like to be an independent payment system outside of the fiat world. But unfortunately, it didn't work. So we have done like a lot of experiments in the past over 10 years. And, there are the most achievements so far is basically all the stable coins being pegged to fiat, aka US dollar. But ever since last year, people start to see like there are so many problems popping out all the time. For example, like the SEC targeting the stable coins, and also like the centralized stable coins, DPEG, et cetera, et cetera. And this raises the question, like, why shouldn't we have a better stable coin, like that is independent, that carries the very initial mission of being a Bitcoin to be independent and not pegged to fiat? So that's the whole idea of a non-fiat pegged stable coin that we are trying to build here. So we come up with this new name called Tracer Coin. Tracer Coin, as in like we trace certain indexes that I can elaborate more on. But the main purpose here is basically to differentiate from the traditional stable coin concept, which is widely perceived as fiat pegged. So in terms of our tracer coins, so the way that we do it is actually pretty simple. Like first of all, we create some indexes which represent different, volatility and different movement features. And then we create the tracer coin that pegs to this index. And then the whole pegging mechanism is supported by the collateral of the underlying tracer coins. So that explains why. So the first tracer coin that we are going to launch is called G coin, or we call it green coin. It's basically pegged to a green index that measures the positive progress of net zero economy. So we have done like heavy simulations on that index, and basically based on the data of the past 40 years, it shows about 1% to 2% volatility every year, which provides us a perfect benchmark as a stable coin. Like it's stable, it's independent from fiat. That's the first trace coin we are launching. But aside from the beyond that, because like the entire framework is like, okay, create index, create tracer coin, and peg to that. So that's why we can launch other tracer coins as well. For example, like we can launch a tech coin, and also we can help other projects to launch tracer coins to measure their project performance, etc. So that's the whole concept of the tracer coin. Yeah.
Well, 1 to 2% volatility sounds great. That's what the US dollar is supposed to be, is, 2% inflation a year. And that really provides a lot of security. And, in the times that we're in now, where, kind of, countries are looking for alternatives to the dollar, we're all in this weird place of where do we hold our value? For the last, 70 years, it's been the United States dollar. And, a lot of times what protocols do when they're first coming out that are trying to solve stable coins is they just peg it directly to a dollar. And that really doesn't make much sense. There has to be, something that is more stable, in our world than the US dollar. And I think, blockchain and smart contracts and, this idea of having multiple different collaterals in there long term, should be much more stable in the dollar. And that's why, I'm really excited about what you guys are working on. So
Yeah,
you
totally. Yeah.
so you mentioned Gcoin. With Cogito, there's also, a governance token, the CGV token. How
Yeah.
does the CGV token, interact with the protocol, and is there any correlation with the actual Gcoin?
Yeah, that's a brilliant question. So, CGV tokens are governance token or utility token, however you want to call it. So, it has a very, very important role. So first of all, I want to mention that, we are doing a DeFi project, and, as the regulatory landscape globally remain like so unclear, we believe that the only solution to take Cogito forward is through complete decentralization. So decentralization has been has become like a meme. Everyone's like talking about decentralization, but do people really give much value to it? Probably not everyone, but actually it's extremely important for us, especially in this kind of environment. Because think about it, right? So this goes back to the whole SEC trying to classify everything as security, and then how can they not? So the way that we can actually fall out of the security category and actually can fall into the category of commodity is basically the decentralization level, right? So that's why Bitcoin is considered a commodity instead of a security, because they are decentralized. So given this background, so for us, Cogito, we believe that the only way forward is decentralization as well. So how is this related to our CGV tokens? This means basically CGV tokens, every holder of CGV token will be the owner of the protocol. So that's the high level summary of what does CGV token do. So in terms of daily execution, right? What does that mean for everyone who holds our tokens? Because we actually have our tokens out. So the utilities here, for example, governance, which is not sexy, but we do need to mention that. For example, like how we're going to run our protocol when we are launching this Gcoin. How are we going to construct the green index? How are we going to manage our treasury so that our treasury actually achieve the performance of 1 to 2% per year to catch up with the appreciation of our Gcoin? And in terms of investing in our treasury, where can we allocate our tokens to? Where can we allocate our treasuries to? So all these decisions should be made by the community collectively. So this is not the sexy part, but we still need to do it. And on the fun part is that we are when we are doing our business, right? So we mint Gcoin, users can deposit their collaterals with us and mint Gcoin. We will have fee income. We have minting fees, we have redemption fees, we have treasury management fees, we have trading fees. So all these fees, they should all belong to the token holders. 100% belong to the token holders, because if we are a fully decentralized protocol, there's no entity that controls this project. So everyone should be sharing that income. But this might be a bit tricky, especially in today's regulatory world as well, because it might qualify us as a security, because we have revenue. So we need to do it in a compliant way. So we are actually thinking about, have been discussing with legal counsel as well in terms of looking at buyback and burn mechanism, which we actually mentioned during our token launch generation event. So buyback and burn in US might still qualify as a security, but outside of US, for example, in Singapore and also in some other domains that we plan to operate, they are not considered a security. So there might be a little bit trick on there. But overall, to go back to your question, what are the utilities of CGV? Everything: running the project, getting the revenue of the project, and take the project forward as a fully decentralized community. Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite unfortunate that you can't just pay value back to the owners of the protocol, the people that actually hold the governance token, because the SEC regulations and projects have to turn to, things like buybacks or burning, just
Yeah.
due to that regulation, when really all they're trying to do is, give value to the users that own the protocol, the earnings from the protocol. You mentioned in that also users can earn the CGG or the CGV token from providing it as collateral. One, what kind of collateral can users provide to these stable assets? And, secondly, is that going to happen for, we'll just start with the first question first. What kind of collateral can users
Yeah.
provide for,
Yes, I do want to clarify that users don't get use CGV to provide collateral. So what I meant is like when users provide collateral to mint our G coin, there will be income, and that income belong to the CGV token holders. And
okay.
then to answer your question, like what kind of collaterals we are accepting, that's a super, super brilliant question. So I'm not sure if I should actually answer this yet because we actually have some great ideas brewing right now. So we actually are going to integrate with some other protocols so that we can open doors for a wider range of collaterals. For example, we can take Ethereum. So also to share with you, we are actually building multi-chain. Yeah, so we are going on both Cardano and Ethereum. But as you know, that Ethereum development might be faster. So our mainnet of our G coin might be released on Ethereum much sooner than Cardano. But they are being built in parallel. So on the Ethereum mainnet, we might be taking Ethereum, other blue chip tokens, and we might also take AGIX as our for users to mint our tokens. This is the first step, and then after we get the collateral to mint the tokens, we will directly just integrate with other protocols and then invest them into a portfolio of assets. That the main purpose here is that the portfolio of assets should map the performance of the green index. So on that part, there will be a lot of flexibilities. But right now, because we are talking about, a stable coin with only 1 to 2% return, we might keep 98% of it in stable coins and another 2% probably in staked ETH. That's the initial planning. But all of this will be written into our code, and then we will be able to publish it before we actually have anything launched. So it's just like an indicative idea. And then I would encourage our community to keep coming back and checking like what is the latest development. And then they can give us feedback as well. Because ideally, we want this decision to be made by community already, but we are kind of early because our product is not released yet. So we are taking this first step we are making the decision on the first step from the team to start with. So yeah,
Awesome.
I don't know if that answers the question, like what
It
kind of
does.
collaterals we accept. I would say any tokens with liquidity, because we will take that and we will diversify it. So it's on the treasury team to diversify it. So it doesn't really matter like what exactly are deposited to mint the G coin.
Okay. You guys recently had your public sale for the CGV token. If users missed out on that public sale, is there a way to actually earn that token from the protocol? Because you mentioned you don't earn it from providing collateral for the stable coin. So how can users earn that token?
Yeah, so that's also a good question. So we have a few programs that we are encouraging our users to participate to earn our CGP tokens. So the most recent one is released today. So we just released our beta testing for our Gcoin. So users can just go test out our product and then give us feedback, and then they will earn reward in CGP tokens. This is one. Second is we are going to encourage the Gcoin minting upon mainnet launch, which means that if users they use their collateral to mint Gcoin, we will pair them with CGP rewards. That's in rewards. And also, like if they can, after they mint the Gcoin, they can stake their Gcoin. They can, provide liquidity of Gcoin with other trading pairs, and all these kind of activities, all these kind of use cases will be incentivized with our CGP tokens as well. So basically, as you can see, our main focus for the next phase is encouraging product adoption, and then we will be using CGP tokens alongside with other measures to boost the adoption here. Yeah.
Okay. So looking further on your roadmap, I saw that there's another tracer coin coming out, and it's called X coin. What is the differences between X coin and G coin?
Right. So Gcoin is more of a stable asset because the low volatility here is only like 1 to 2%. Yeah. But Xcoin is will be like more volatile because it will largely mimic the movement of the tech index, which tracks the singularity progress. And you can like intuitively you can think of Nasdaq. Yeah. So like you can imagine the volatility will be very similar with Nasdaq, but instead of like for users who actually don't have access to this kind of asset basket, we will be able to offer tech coin for their option. So the main difference here is that first of all, it will have higher upside for return as compared to Gcoin, but but also like because of that, they will have higher risks and volatility as well. I mean that always comes in pair, yeah. So and also like for example, right now when we talk about Gcoin, we say it moves about 1 to 2% up or down against the benchmark. But when it comes to Xcoin, it might move 10 to 20%. That should be expected behavior. So if the price moves like more significantly, users should not panic, which is actually a good thing because in crypto, even when USDT dropped by 0.3%, people start to say, USDT depegged. That was like, depeg what? That's like 0.3%.
Mhm.
I guess if we have like our Gcoin and Xcoin concepts coming in, like users should get used more to the volatility against the US dollar. So this is actually a very important step. So to go back to your question, Peyton, you mentioned like, why do everyone just peg to US dollar to create a stable coin? The very easy answer to that is because it's very easy to understand. But actually, in reality, if you think about it, we have so many currencies from different nations, right? Pound, they move against US dollar with certain volatilities, but nobody panic if they go up 5% or down 5%. So what we are trying to achieve here is that with our Gcoin, with our Xcoin, that users start to, get this sense like, okay, it's not really a big deal that, the stable coin still has a payment method, moves differently with US dollar. So that's the point that we are trying to bring out. So Xcoin will definitely serve that purpose as well. So that's what we have with, and actually our communities are very excited with Xcoin because of the like potentially higher upside there.
Mhm. So Xcoin
Yep.
really is a large focus on the innovation of technology, and Gcoin really is more of a stable peg. When I hear
Yeah.
the idea of a green coin, it makes me think of like almost like philanthropy. So is there any, with green coin, is there anything like that you guys focus on to have that stability by investing in, you know, maybe things that are kind of good for society in a way? Because I think green, I think of like, nice trees outside and us, moving away from fossil fuels or something, you know.
Yeah, yeah, totally. So the green element here is that we are trying to incentivize our community and even anyone outside of crypto to behave in a positive way to impact the environment. I mean, that sounds like too big, but actually,
Yeah.
like what we are trying to do is we are, for example, forming partnerships with different green programs, and then users can just do volunteers with them, and then just claim rewards with us with their proof of work. So these kind of things we can do. Another thing that we can do is like we our as we progress with the business, right? We should be able to be able to make profit, and the part of the profit can be set aside to fund the green research, which is actually very important. I mean, I know we are like a kind of a small project, but like every effort matters. That's what we are believing
Mm.
in now. But if you are asking like, is it possible for us, for example, to invest some of our treasuries into some green like assets, for example, like ESG stocks or like some other green, environment, green energy stocks. So if you are asking about questions like that, I would say that will be more of a long-term planning
Yeah.
because right now our investment is mainly on chain. And if you
Mhm.
want to invest in ESG stocks and stuff, you will have to go off chain. So that's like a big step if we are doing a DeFi project. So that requires more thorough thinking and also like subject to community governance as well. So that's basically what we are trying to balance here between impacting the environment positively versus remain as decentralized DeFi project.
Awesome. Yeah, that makes sense. And for you to even be able to invest in those assets or have those in a treasury, we have to see more of a merge of decentralized finance and traditional finance to
Yeah.
actually be able to hold those assets. Because right now, really the only way is to, use synthetic, asset protocols with over collateralized versions of stocks. So,
Yeah.
how does Cogito use AI? You guys were, position yourselves in the Singularity Net ecosystem. So really, how does it all connect and how does AI, benefit these tracer coins?
Yeah, that's also a brilliant question. So I would say AI is one of the key advantages that we have to differentiate us from other decentralized stable coins. So there are a few things that we can do. First of all, as I mentioned just now, like a large part of the company relies on the treasury management. Yeah. So that will help us to keep the protocol safe because like the collateral is eventually what keeps the peg. Like users see we have $100 worth of collateral in our treasury, and then they know, okay, my token is worth $1. And if it drops to 80, they start to worry, right? So this is the kind of stable coin like mindset that we have right now.
Mhm.
So by having the AI models, which are developed by Singularity Net, we will be able to invest our treasury in a more effective way. For example, like we will be able to identify the correlations between different assets with to introduce to reduce the correlation or dependency between different assets so that if the market moves, our treasuries don't move as much. So it's the kind of like a more resilient to market move. This is one thing that we're doing. So the automated treasury management is the very first application that we are looking forward to. And the second one is about the market prediction model. So we actually are working in talk with another company that has been building market prediction model. So that one will help us to predict how the market is gonna move, so that we actually as the project can tell, okay, so we should be able to move faster than the market, so that we can be more we can manage our risks better. And another application that we are thinking of is on the risk management side, because like as compliance and regulations are becoming more and more, important in this industry, we definitely want to be able to detect, for example, like money laundering or insider trading, all these kind of behaviors, and we should be able to. I mean, that is where AI plays the most role in, right? So all these applications are supported by Singularity Net. That's why we are, spin out from Singularity Net. They are building the tools for us, and we are basically the application layer. So that's how it works.
Awesome. So, do you see any collaboration with Hypercycle? The new blockchain that Ben Gortzel's working on, and Tufi.
Totally. So what I have been thinking, actually not just Hypercycle, but all the Singularity Net ecosystem, there are many, right? So
Mhm.
we are actually trying to push our G coin as the primary payment coin for all the projects. So you know how they all of them should have their own utility tokens, but utility tokens carry different roles, right? Like they govern, they share revenue however they want to do it in a compliant way. But for us, we want to be able to facilitate all the transactions with their ecosystem, like with their products, and then become the payment layer of all of these projects. So Singularity Net is the first step, but of course we'll look beyond Singularity Net. Our entire market is in the entire crypto space to become the payment layer of every project.
Awesome. Yeah, that would be really nice to have, one token for the entire Singularity Net ecosystem that you can use so you don't have to, work through all of the different utility tokens on the different projects. So my next question really is about, regulation. This was a viewer question and they mentioned, are US citizens allowed to use all products released from Cogito?
Yeah, I have to say probably not.
Mhm.
So we are actually restricting our. So we are not really offering our product in the US, and also like for our previous token sales, we are also not offering to US either. So it's pretty unfortunate
Yeah.
since US is kind of a big market, but like it is the industry right now. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah, we lack clarity here, unfortunately, and
yeah,
it leads a
yeah.
lot of us to miss out on financial innovations in our world. So, we mentioned Gcoin, we mentioned Xcoin, we mentioned CGV. In terms of a 1 year roadmap, for Cogito, what's next other than what we've mentioned today?
Yes, so the one and only one important roadmap for the next 12 months is product adoption. So everything we work is working around that. So first of all, we'll push for mainnet launch soon, tentatively in Q3, but also it depends on the auditing process. So, sometimes audit might take longer than we expect. So yeah, that's the first step. And then we will be actively we have started already to forming partnerships to adopt Gcoin for different use cases. Start with the very simple one, for example, on-chain trading, farming, lending. Lending might come later, and then to like off-chain payment, so which means to B. So we are developing partnerships with businesses so that they use our Gcoin for their payments. And this is basically everything that we are focusing right now, product adoption. Without that, like CGP has zero value, right? And also like we will want to like attract more TVLs for our Gcoin, etc. So the next 12 months, I would expect us to have more traction on our Gcoin. That's basically the entire team, the entire community are working towards. Yeah.
Amazing. For my final question, you guys launched Cogito, in a bear market. Are you happy with that decision? Do you think launching in a bear market is actually better and healthier for the project, than launching in the middle of a bull market?
Well, I would say this is a very good question. I would say it has good and bad. Yes. So first of all, if you think about it, like everyone believes that bear market is the time when we build. Yeah. So which we apparently believe too. So that's why we are focusing purely on the building. And second is like a bear market actually is a good timing for us to accumulate a very, very quality community. Like the true believers are here. Like a bear market, yeah, you have all the tractions and it's much easier to boost the liquidity and stuff, but like quick money come and go. But right now, like people who are supporting us, the true believers here, so which I really, really appreciate. So that's the upside. And downside, as you mentioned, like in a bear market, it will impact us on several ways. For example, like the valuation might not be as good, yeah, as in bull market, and also there might be a lot of challenges in terms of like launching tokens, like attracting users, etc., etc. So it's a balance. I would say I think for us it worked out pretty well. Like we launched the product, we launched the tokens, which gave us enough capital to deliver the product to the market, and then hopefully by the time we are a year after product launch, and then bull market comes in, and we are just going to ride from there. So that's like the best outcome one can expect. Yeah. So that's also kind of my hope as well.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. And I think that was kind of the great analysis of the pros and cons because, I think right now you actually have the ability to build up a quality user base, build a solid
Yep.
foundation for your protocol. So when we have the floods of millions of people looking for the next big thing, you have a solid foundation to actually capture, the users that are going to be engaged and stay through the next bear. So, yeah, this was a great podcast. I definitely learned a lot about Cogito. I'm very excited. Is there anything that we missed or anything you want to say before we head out of here today?
Um, I just want to encourage the community, your audience, to go test our beta and then give us feedback in terms of what they want to see, like how they want to see the Gcoin play out. And don't forget that we have rewards for feedbacks.
Awesome. Well, I'll have links for all of that down below, and I'll probably check out the beta and a news video coming up soon. So thank you guys so much for watching this podcast. Make sure you guys go check out all things Cogito if you enjoyed it. Make sure you like the video. If you made it till the end, please comment Cogito down below. That'll let us know you watched the whole thing, and we do really appreciate that. So again, thank you guys. Hope you have a good rest of your day.
Oh, thank you, Peyton. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.